One of the areas I seem to get a lot of comments and a lot of questions about is dating over 50 the same as it was when you were younger? And the truth is, no, it's not. Modern dating today is different than even 5 years ago it was. There's a lot more online, there's a lot more texting, there's a lot more gaps, areas for miscommunication. And not only that, I think a lot of people over 50 who are looking for a relationship, looking for love, are, they're willing to try new things, that's what they say, but basically they want what used to work for them. They want the same old, same old. So they spend a lot of time and effort on the look, losing weight, getting their skin just right, getting their hair just right, and their clothes. And I'm not saying those things aren't important. They certainly are. How you attract matters, and who you attract matters. But what matters more are the things very few people have awareness of and want to work on themselves. And one of those areas is, I hear a lot of people tell me, I want this and that, like they're going shopping. And I say to them, have you looked at yourself? Have you done an honest assessment of yourself? Like, where do you stand on looks? Are you a person that kind of let yourself go, or parts of yourself you still like to make your face look attractive, but the rest of you is not in shape? Or are you someone who is still being victimized by the past, victimized by an old relationship? And are you carrying a negative attitude? Do you think all men are one way? Do you think all women are one way? Or have you basically done the homework so you can be self-aware, so you can deal with your garbage before you start putting that on someone else in a relationship? Because these things really matter. If you set a standard for someone you're going to date, then you have to be at the standard you're setting. You don't want to set a bar that's so high for another person, but yet you're way underneath it. Because I'm telling you, that gap may look good, it may work for a couple weeks, but it won't sustain itself. So first of all, get honest. What do you want? Are you dating with an intention? Are you looking for your person? Or are you just going out, feeling the waters, trying to get used to dating again, trying to see what's out there? I'm going to tell you, setting your intention is a wiser thing. Intentional dating is a wiser thing. You'll date less people for sure, but you will date with an intention, and that usually sets a standard for yourself. You're going to even up so that the standard you're looking for is what you believe you are right now. And then once you start dating, I think the idea of having an open mind, forgetting how it used to be, or having expectations of what should be, and being open to hearing what another person's perspective or ideas about dating is. For example, if I were to date, I would expect someone very polite. I like that. That's a sign of high character to me. So I wouldn't mess around if somebody came and they were not polite, if they looked disheveled, or they didn't open doors, or they weren't kind to service people. There would be no second date. I'm not even sure I would date them one time, because usually I'm very aware of those things. What are you very aware of? Make sure that you're looking with honest eyes of those sensitivities that you have, because that is important. Secondly, take your time. There's no rush. Anybody who's in a rush to nail a relationship down or make it forever right away, that's a sign of someone who is carrying some baggage they haven't quite resolved yet. If you're really looking for a person that you can build a life with, it should take a while. Like you have to get to know that person. You have to see that person in crisis. You have to see that person when they're upset, when they're angry. How do they treat you? How do they treat others? Do they take their stress out on you? Do they treat service people well? It's going to take you a while. And the slower you go And the more you develop the friendship without intimacy, the better the relationship is going to bode for longevity forward. Clearly communicate what you feel, what you want. You don't have to hint. You're over 50 now. You're not a child. You're old enough to know you, what you want, and how you feel. And I've seen a lot of people play games because they're like, well, I didn't really feel like that, but at the same time, if they really knew me this early in the relationship, they wouldn't want me. That rhetoric right there is a sign this is not your person. Because if your person can't handle the truth of how you feel, you being authentic from the first date on, is not a keeper. If you're monitoring your words so you don't scare another person off, think what you're saying to yourself. You're saying, I am so messed up. If they knew how messed up I was, they wouldn't want to go out with me again. I wouldn't want to go out with you. If that was your feeling, I would still stay very clear from you, because I think when you go into a relationship like that, it's never going to be transparent or honest. It's going to be waiting, censoring for the right time. Address deal breakers early on. You should have at least 3 things that you do not want in a relationship. Things such as, I won't date a smoker, I won't date a drinker, and I won't date someone who is not self-disciplined enough to manage themselves. Those are my 3 things. You may have different things. Hopefully you do. Maybe you have more than 3, but you should have a basic number of 3. Prioritize your ability to get along and be honest with each other more than anything else. Because if you know this person can get along with you, that if this relationship went on, you would be perfectly happy hanging out with this person, then that's a good sign that this relationship can build. If you feel edgy around this person, or this person is very difficult, they have a lot of moods, a lot of drama, they're basically, they're egocentric, it's always their way. Yeah, these are things you know right away. And people who end up in terrible relationships saw these early on, but they were too afraid to say something. They wanted to wait. But deal breakers, you know immediately. And you also know right away who is and isn't a person you could get along with, a person who you feel would have your back, a person who is stable. If they're not stable, don't get involved with them from the time you're dating, because it's not going to get better. All the love in the world cannot help someone who is unstable and irresponsible of taking control of managing themselves. If this video is helpful for you, please subscribe. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you so much.